Hey everybody, it's Elijah from Gaia Designs, and today I just thought I'd do a quick little update video for the product development blog on our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel, and just showing off this cute little device that I managed to finish over the weekend. Very early days prototype, I should say, and not a complete product, something I've been mulling over and wanting to prototype out, and it came out okay. The core functionality works, definitely some changes need to be made. But for the most part, it is working as intended. So I'll just go ahead and explain what it is. This is a desk planter, sort of an idea I've had for a while, just as a way of planting seedlings that you can basically then transfer over to a bigger planter and just have really nice even rows of seedlings, but also have a system that's quite pretty to look at and a nice little watering system at the top here. That's what this whole top device is. I'll just take the top off for now so I can explain where the seedlings go. This is the little drain here down the bottom. This is the crossbar here is where you plant out the seedlings. So you pack that with soil and line the internal of this with hessian cloth, I should say. And then you pack soil into it and plant the seedlings. So when they're mature, you can just easily grab the hessian on either sides and then transfer it over to a bigger planter. And then just new hessian, soil, new seeds, and then you have a nice even row of seedlings. And then you can repeat the process over and over again. So you get nice even rows. And yeah, just sort of it prints out. I should explain that this is, not what the actual thing is going to look like. This is just the guts, the internal organs of the system. Eventually I want to build this out into sort of like a bonsai tree. So have this be like a nice, like gnarled, rooty, printed in wood grain PLA to give that nice kind of woody feel, and sort of like print it out as a tree. And then have this top part, sort of as be the leaves as where the seedlings are growing out. And this crossbar, this watering system, won't really look like this either. Again, it's really just the internal mechanisms of the system. Eventually, I want this to be a curve, not so boxy. So to be a nice sort of gradual arch that goes over the top, and have this whole watering system simplified. This is basically just a water bowl with a little hole in the bottom that allows an on-off valve, a little valve that goes on top. It's this little key that you turn, so it's sort of like on-off. So when you want the water to flow, you just turn it on. The water flows down into these little channels here. It's then like flows down here. It's obviously concave, and the little holes help to separate the water. Oh, careful. Help to separate the water, and then it goes down into this little channel here. That then further separates the water. So when it's functioning, you put water on the top, you twist the valve, and then it flows down and then separates the water and drips down evenly across the seedlings. And then when you want to turn it off, you just go and turn it off. So that's a basic system. Like I was saying, it's not going to look like this in the future, but for the sake of prototyping, it's working as intended. So I'll probably do a quick little jump cut here and then just sort of set it all up and then just put some water into it to show you it flowing. And we're back. I've gone ahead and just filled it with a little bit of soil in the top here and just put a few of the garden rocks in the bottom, and did a test run here. The drainage is working effectively. You can actually see a bit of the grossy brown water in there. It is working effectively, but it does, again, highlight two of the issues that I've been having and that I'm already beginning to address in the second prototype. So the first one is that, again, this basin here isn't broad enough, and it's not allowing for adequate drainage. At the moment, the planter and this crossbar, like the actual drainage, are of the same width, and it's just not enough surface area for allow the water to effectively drain down, and it's just pooling and sort of like coming out over the sides. I noticed that yesterday, and that's definitely one of the things I've already begun to remedy. And the other one is, again, this watering system isn't effective at separating the water, just because these holes aren't big enough, and the water has a tendency to pool in the top here and then begin to drip down one area. And so once water finds a channel, it tends to just keep flowing in that way. So it'll just find an area where it's like, oh yeah, this is working, and then it'll just continue to flow down that. And I don't want that at all. I want it to flow evenly. So the crossbar redesign has channels into it where the water flows over the top. And then basically is evenly dispersed. So the water basically has to flow down those channels as one channel fills up. But you'll see that in the next design. But I'll just go ahead and pour some water into it so you can get a general idea of what I'm talking about and highlight some of those flaws. Just fill that all the way up. There we go. But you can see here immediately. See how the water is finding one channel and then just continually dripping. And you can also see the other issue where the drainage isn't enough for it to flow down to the channel. It just overflows immediately over the top. But yeah, I've already begun to remedy that. You can see in certain areas like here where it's going down and it's draining fine, and then in other areas where it's overflowing. And that's purely because there's just not enough time for the water to drain effectively through the soil. It's just overflowing, and the soil becomes clayish, and then you're overwatering the seedlings, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, if nothing else, this highlights some definite flaws in the design. And yeah, again, as I said, the second prototype is different already, and it has addressed those issues, and hopefully we'll be able to see a bit more even flow, and that the actual drainage system is doing its job effectively. And yeah, as I was highlighting before, once the water finds a channel, it just keeps following that channel. It just goes to the path of least resistance, and that's where the water is already flowing, so that's the channel it chooses. So yeah, those are the two things I have to remedy. God, this looks gross. But yeah, so you can see the general functionality of it, and it's, you know, it's not perfect and it's far from finished, but yeah, early days, and hopefully the next prototype will be more efficient and effective. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that and sort of just catalog it for my own, what do you call it, posterity, I suppose, so I can sort of see the natural evolution of the design and see what didn't work and what did work, just so I can get sort of good postmortems going for different prototypes. But yeah, I'll just leave it there, and I would show you that. I don't believe in hiding failure. I think we learned from our failures, and I certainly learned a few lessons from this one. But yeah, hopefully that wasn't too boring, and yeah, if nothing else, you can see the humor in my my prototype shortcomings. In any case, I'll leave it there. Have a great day, and I've been Elijah from Guy Designs.